Okay, let's see here. Boom, boom. All right. Boom, pow. What does that say? Boom, pow, tap, patty whack, smack. Gosh, these vibe boards, dude. Is this not the way to go? Do you think this is better than?
You know, you can just flip it around and the other side's an eraser.
You're lying.
Wow, my life is better. Thank you. This actually is a bad deal. All right. All right, so there's a deal in Vegas right now being sent to me from somebody who doesn't understand creative finance. There's a seller who's in foreclosure, has a house. I already know my exit strategy on that house would be a PadSplit. How do I know that? Well, I texted Mandisa, who's my rep at PadSplit. You guys can go to splityourpad.com. And so here's the house. 3-bed, 2-bath, 1,000 square feet. You see this carport? I would enclose that carport, make 2 more rooms, and I would turn this existing 3-bed, 2-bath house into a 6-bed, 2-bath house. Why? Well, you'll find out at the end. I'll tell you the number breakdown. We'll actually break it down for the first time on our new vibe board in our new, 50% done studio.
I like it.
I already know what I want to pay for this property. It's a subject to deal. I want to basically be no money out of pocket on this deal. I'm going to call her and I'm going to gather all the information before I tell her what I would do. This is a house in Vegas.
Hey, Pace.
Hi, the deal is seller's in foreclosure. Agent hasn't been able to sell the house.
This is all off market.
Okay, so why is the agent involved then?
So the agent brought it to me. He wanted me to give him a cash offer. So of course I did. And it was like, she would have had to bring like almost $100,000 to the table. So I know she's looking to sell because they want to move to Texas. But he was saying that she wants to stay in the house until mid-June, but she would like to do like the whole Subto if possible before then. So she wants like a post-possession till mid-June.
It's a horrible interest rate.
I know. That's why I wasn't sure, but I was like, shoot my shot anyway.
What does the agent want on the deal?
So I didn't ask him yet. He just asked, how do I get paid? And I said, we would pay you. But I didn't tell him an amount. I didn't say how much. So that's still up in the air.
Okay, I will buy the deal. There's only one exit strategy that will actually work for that house. Here's the problem you have. The sub-2 payment, if I took that payment and I turned it into a regular rental, it would lose money. Vegas is cracking down, Atlanta's cracking down, and so short-term rental is not an opportunity. So I have one exit strategy that will work, but I have to put a good amount of money into it. I want to get into the deal as little as possible, like couple grand to the agent, couple grand to you, nothing to the seller, the house is mine.
I will talk to him about that for sure. I've been in contact with him since February, so.
Okay, call him up and say, my partner says he thinks there's a weird way we can make this work, but he would have to take over the payments, the existing payments. Seller walks away with nothing. The seller needs to make the payments while she's in the property. Okay, I'm not going to let the lady live for free. Let me tell you a couple things. You're not one of my students, right?
No, not yet anyway.
I'm going to teach you something that I teach everybody. Buyers are liars. Sellers are worse.
Sellers are worse. I know that line.
and agents are the devil.
Ooh, I didn't hear the last one, but I like it.
Agents will lie more than a seller will lie, and a seller will lie sometimes because they don't even know what the truth is. You will find out the wildest things from sellers after you open escrow, and you're like, you didn't even know that you were in forbearance, or you didn't know you were in foreclosure? Oh no, I didn't know. So I think what's gonna happen on this is that we'll open escrow and then we'll find out what's really going on. So I think you tell that to the agent. You call the agent and go, hey, look, we got a weird exit strategy that my partner's gonna attempt to do. It's gonna cost a heavy lift. We're gonna have to enclose the carport, spend a bunch of money to even make this work. The interest rate that we're gonna take over is really not ideal. Do you know the highest interest rate I've ever taken over?
Probably like 4%.
I just bought one today from one of my students. 4.75% is the highest interest rate I've ever taken over. This will by far, by 1.25%, be the highest interest rate I've ever taken over. But if I can be out of pocket very, very little, I can make a very specific exit strategy work for this.
Okay, got it.
Call the agent and call me back.
Okay, I'm gonna do that right now.
Okay, thanks.
Thanks, bye.
Bye. Okay, so here's what I'm thinking on this. So we've got a seller. Every seller starts with motivation. Make a comment down below. What do you think is the motivation for this seller? I would say motivation number 1, wants to move. Wants to move, has no equity. So the seller has no equity. Agent has not put this on the market. It's off market. So here's the house. It's a 3-bed, 2-bath, 1,000 square foot house, so kind of small. It's got a 6% interest rate loan at $2,300 a month, which is really high. For a 1,000 square foot house, 3-bed, 2-bath for $2,300 a month, kind of high, right? I think the agent has come along and said, this is not a good deal for the MLS. I think somebody as an investor is gonna have to buy this. I would call this person a unicorn agent. Why? They actually did not put this house on the MLS because it will not sell on the MLS, and they're not dumb. They actually are like, let's go reach out to investors and let's see what investors will offer. The property and the mortgage that the seller has is basically $350,000. A wholesaler is gonna have to buy this property roughly for $250,000 to make it make sense for an investor, because a wholesaler is going to buy it for $250,000, get it under contract, and they're going to assign it to the actual fix and flipper, and they'll make a $10,000 or $20,000 assignment fee for the fix and flipper taking it, $250,000 plus the assignment fee, so $270,000, and then turning around, renovating it, cleaning it up, and then selling it for $350,000 on the market. That is essentially what's gonna happen. The girl that I'm talking to, Tabitha, just says, well, I already gave them a cash offer and the cash offer didn't work. So why do people sell on Subto? Well, can't sell on MLS. This is easy. There's a lot of MLS deals that we do on Subto as well, but this is like a layup. This is like, take my house, take my keys. In fact, the seller will receive $0 in this transaction for me to take over their mortgage. The agent will probably receive like $2,500 maybe. And the wholesaler, Tabitha, who found the deal, I'm gonna pay her a low fee. Why would I pay Tabitha such a small fee? Eric, do you have any ideas? Why would I pay Tabitha such a small, instead of 10, 15, 20 grand, why would I pay her such a small fee? If I'm gonna make so much money on this, why would I pay Tabitha a small fee?
You're doing the work.
Boom, dude, so good, thank you. So does she have the contract right now? Does she know how to structure this deal? No, she's not a Sub2 student, so she doesn't have the training. And so she's like, I have a lead. Basically, I'm paying her $2,500 for a lead, because what's gonna happen is she's gonna bring the deal to me, and Pace, the girls on my team, Molly and Allison, are gonna make this deal work. So I'm gonna pay payroll on this deal. Hello.
Hello. Okay, I just talked to him. So I was like, I told him the details and everything. And I was like, so what do you want for a commission? He's like, well, I'm doing both sides, so 4%. I said, yeah, that's not going to happen. He goes, okay, so what do you think? And I was like, we're like, I don't know, $2,000. And he's like, what about $5,000? I'm like, I don't think that's going to work, but I'll talk to him.
I will do $5,000 if I can do a YouTube video, a sit down YouTube video about the deal and how challenging it was to sell it until I got involved.
I love it. I guarantee you he will do that.
Okay, sounds great. Do you need help with the paperwork?
Yeah, I have no idea. I don't even have paperwork, so whatever your next...
Why the hell are you not a student of mine?
I don't know.
If you're not a student of mine, you're only focused on not making money.
You're right. I know. This is why, all right, you've convinced me. I'll
Okay,
become a student.
here's what I want you to do, okay? I want you to email Molly at pacemorby.com. That's MOLLY at pacemorby.com. We'll give you a little free education on this, okay? I want Molly to get on a Zoom with you and the agent.
Okay.
And she will walk you guys through the paperwork. She'll do the assignment. She'll do all the paperwork. She'll handle the transaction coordination. You don't have to lift a finger.
Okay. That works for me.
So I'll pay agent $5,000, which I don't want to pay, but I will get something in return for it. I'll pay you $2,000. Are you okay with that?
Okay. Yeah, of course.
Okay. Do you live in Vegas?
No, I'm in Pennsylvania. I do everything virtually.
So you're in Pennsylvania. Amazing. Why is this the first time you've sent me a deal?
This was the first one that I actually got as far as someone saying, okay, let's do it, the Subto transaction.
I think it's because you probably are not pitching this that often.
No, I'm not, honestly. It's very, very little that I pitch it. Like this one was the only exit strategy on this was a Subto.
Okay, cool.
So it's not often that I do it.
Okay, Molly at pacemorby.com, send her an email. She'll get on and then call the agent and says, hey, this is the terms. Pace wants, my partner, whoever it is. Mm-hmm. You don't need to, did you tell him my name?
No, not yet.
Yeah, I wouldn't tell him my name until we're under contract.
Okay.
Because people get weird when they're like, oh, it's a TV guy and it's a YouTube guy, whatever. Just say, hey, my buyer says he wants to do a testimonial with you as an agent. You don't need to say a YouTube video. He'll do it in person in Vegas. He'll fly in town once we buy the property, and he wants to make sure it's in the contract that you'll do a testimonial and a sit down video. And our transaction coordinator can do a Zoom and walk us through the paperwork and the structure of the deal.
Perfect. Okay. I will do that right now, and then I'll email Molly.
Okay, MOLLY at pacemorby.com.
Got it. Yep, that's what I wrote.
Okay, thank you so much.
Thanks, Pace.
Okay, bye. You wanted to record something else. And look at the timing of that. The timing of that was so good. By the way, this should answer a question for you. A lot of questions for you. Can I do this virtually? Think about this. Tabitha lives in Pennsylvania. She finds a deal in Vegas and sells it to a guy in Arizona. Can I do this virtually? Can I do this virtually?
Can I do this virtually?
Oh my gosh, how does that not answer that question for people? Somebody's gonna DM me tomorrow. Pace, I'm in Canada, how do I get started? I don't care where you are. Israel, Canada, Paris, France, I don't care where you are, you can do it from anywhere. Man, if you could do it from Pennsylvania, you could do it anywhere. They just got internet like 2 weeks ago. All these Quaker oatmeal people down here hammering out steel just barely got emails. I use a top tier transaction coordinator. If you want to be a top tier transaction coordinator, email Molly and Molly will show you where that training is. Now, here's what's gonna happen. Pace will become the buyer. Here's the problem though. This actually is a bad deal. Now, editor, I want you to take that little clip of me saying this is a bad deal and put it at the very beginning before intro, okay? And don't edit any of this stuff out of the YouTube video so that the people watching know how I have to tell you guys what to do at the very beginning so they appreciate how much work goes into these YouTube videos. Please press subscribe, please. We are working so hard for you. This is actually a really bad deal. The interest rate, why would I buy this? It's 6%. This is the worst interest rate I've ever bought, literally ever in my life. In fact, that should be the title. Worst sub 2 interest rate, but still gonna cash flow. How? And then do one of these, because it's the only way people click on. You know why we have to do clickbait? Because it's the only way you click. If it's just a picture of, actually put a picture of me on the phone or something. Real live call, real live deal. What will get your guys' attention? You'll actually click the damn YouTube video. In a normal world, I would not buy this. Why? Because if you take this and I now become the owner of the property, I'm into the property $5,000 to the agent. Tabitha will get $2,000. Why is Tabitha only getting $2,000? I think I'm being generous to Tabitha, to be honest. She's a wholesaler. She hasn't learned creative finance, so I have to step in and I have to do this. Tabitha is not a student of mine. Why would I do a deal with Tabitha who is not a sub 2 student of mine? My friend Jamil asked me to help Tabitha, so I stepped in and I'm like, oh, this really bad interest rate deal could actually work out to be something pretty cool. Okay, so $5,000 goes to the agent. I'll get a video testimony out of it. It'll go on YouTube. I'll make more money from that $5,000 than you guys can even imagine. Why? Because I will be able to send that out to other real estate agents and go, look, I just did a sub 2 with an agent. Look, I did a sub 2 with an agent. Think about my sub 2 community being able to use that testimonial for other agents that are like, oh, I don't know, how does sub 2 work? That $5,000 is an investment to me, not a fee. Make a comment down below if that makes sense to you. So $7,000 plus I'm gonna spend on my transaction work and my closing costs, right, with the title company. Probably spend another $4,000 on that. How am I gonna make money on it? Right? Because I'm gonna be $4,000, $6,000, $11,000 into the deal. And it's a property that I just took over a $2,300 monthly payment that I could rent out for basically $2,100 to $2,200 a month. Does that sound like a great idea to go put $11,000 into a property? Does that sound like a good strategy? No. Eric's being funny. It's not a good strategy. The problem is I can't do Airbnb in Vegas right now. Okay, we're getting cracked down, so that's a no. I can't do Airbnb. I could do midterm rental. If you guys want to learn more about midterm rental, go to Tanisha Epps' YouTube channel. She's awesome. I think that in the next 2 years, Tanisha Epps will be the best midterm rental educator ever. So midterm rental, I could do that, but I really don't want to. It's in a C neighborhood. It's not in a B or an A neighborhood. Like I live in an A neighborhood, right? I mean, shit, this is in my house. This is in my basement. I'm not living in a C area, right? This is in a random room in a random part of the house. This is an A neighborhood. B's is like kind of a regular neighborhood, kind of newer build, probably like 1985 to like now. C neighborhoods are neighborhoods like this house. By the way, if you guys are okay with us going long on these videos, please let me know. We get really, my team gets really self-conscious about this. They're like, pace goes too long. I think pace doesn't go long enough. I'll show you what a C neighborhood looks like. Okay, you see, like, tell me this is not a C neighborhood. That's a C neighborhood, right? Okay, here's Molly. Hey.
Hey.
So I bought a really bad deal in Vegas today because I want to turn into a PadSplit. So it's a 3-bed, 2-bath, seller gets nothing. Interest rate is 6%. It's the worst interest rate I've ever bought, but I'm gonna make a YouTube video about how I can still take a shit interest rate and turn it into a PadSplit. So agent's gonna get $5,000. The wholesaler who brought it to me doesn't know creative finance, so we're having to basically do all the paperwork. She's getting $2,000. Her name is Tabitha. She's gonna send you an email. I told her that we wanna get a Zoom, we'll do a Zoom with her and the agent and you. I wanna make sure that Zoom is recorded so we can give it to the Subto community. And in the contract, I need to make sure that part of the agent's work, it states that they're required to give us a testimonial video in person with Pace.
Okay.
Sound good? Okay, so she says, I'm gonna TC it. Remember, if you wanna learn how to become a TC, I think TCs could make as much as like $300K a year. Pretty good little job. Okay, it's not gonna rent. It won't be a good rental. We already know it's not a good Airbnb. So here's what I'm gonna do on this property. By the way, if you guys wanna see our walkthrough with PadSplit, we just did a couple of really cool things. So training for PadSplit will be in the description below. And then we walked through a couple of our upcoming properties with the owner, Atticus, of PadSplit. And we'll give you guys the website so you guys can sign up for PadSplit as well. It's splityourpad.com. We'll give you a training and a walkthrough with Atticus. So here's what I'm gonna do. You see this house, it's a 3-bed, 2-bath house. Going back to this property, you see this carport right here. There's 3 beds, 2 baths in here. This carport, I can turn into 2 more bedrooms and I can tie in and extend the air conditioning over here. It's a C neighborhood, it's a cute little house. Yeah, it's not bad, right? So here's what I would do. Turn this living room into another bedroom. That main house has 4 bedrooms in it, and then we'll turn the carport into 2 more bedrooms, and I'll have 6 bedrooms. Why is that great? Well, because now on a PadSplit structure, here's what I can bring in. I can bring in 6 beds at an average of $750 per month is what that person's gonna rent a room for. That's what PadSplit is, they're gonna rent a room. 6 beds at $750 a month. Ooh, Postmates is here. Okay, cool, he delivered it, awesome, cool. All right, don't edit that out, editors. We're just trying to live life here. Stop trying to cut out all my important things in my life. Okay, 6 beds at $750. 6 times 750, $4,500 a month. That makes this thing work. Now, I'm gonna tell you the math of this because obviously that's not all profit. 6 beds, PadSplit finds the tenants, screens the tenants, manages the tenants, collects the money, does everything. PadSplit says that I'm only gonna have about a 90% occupancy. Okay, so let's take 4,500, multiply it by 0.9. That means I'm really only going to bring in about $4,050 a month. Now, PadSplit needs to make money. So let's multiply by 0.85. Okay, so they're gonna take 15% out of that to manage this for me, which leaves me with $3,442 per month. Not bad, but now I've got utilities, I've got landscape, I've got maybe some little rinky-dinky little repairs here and there. Let's say it's $800 a month to do all of that. $800 a month equals $2,642. So now my payment of $2,300 gets pulled out. I will now make $350 a month in cash flow on that property immediately. PadSplit takes something from making no money to making good money. Now, if I added, if I was able to get a 7th bedroom in here, that would be huge because I could add another $750. If I added another bedroom in here, I could add another $750. They say the sweet spot for PadSplit is 6 to 8 beds. Okay, so I'm gonna get 6 in here, but if I got a 7th and an 8th, I could take my cash flow from $350 to somewhere around like maybe $1,200 to $1,500 a month on a deal that nobody else could sell. And so that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna go to Vegas. In part 2 of this video, we'll be in Vegas some random time, 6-7 months down the road, and we'll do a part 2 of this. Watch out for it, I promise you. Hit the notification bell so that you do not miss it. It will be a full walkthrough of the property, construction, where does the money come from? Because I always tell people I buy houses with no money. So I'll show you where the no money comes from because it ain't coming from me. And we'll see you guys in the next video. Eric's still recording.